playoffs in the world. And in that last game, he really did make quite a few positioning errors, gave up some easy kills. If you give over easy kills to the Aurelion, this one is going to be frightening. But 369 is going Ignite Aatrox here.
Yeah.
So he's going right at it. He says, all right, you think you have the counter pick? Not if I got Ignite, buddy. So there is going to be so much focus on this top lane. Immediately, when you go Ignite on either side of the top lane melee versus melee matchup, it is like blood in the water for junglers. Because if you get up there on the Vi, you have the damage to actually burst this guy down. And likewise, if Canyon gets up there first, and you make even 369 just take a bad recall, with no TP, you get crushed on those waves. You lose so much experience, so much gold. So I do think largely, whoever wins top lane, whatever team plays better around that top lane, the game will swing heavily in their favor.
I like the way JDG are setting up here, though, right? You got the Nautilus to wait for the LeBlanc if she tries to go over the wall and tries to get a ward on red. We've seen that a lot from the LeBlanc, so trying to make sure you can hide where Kanavi is starting, so then you can have that opportunity to get up early towards that top side. Even both junglers here starting on the top side of the map, it looks like could be an indication of maybe an early gank going up towards this top side.
Safety so far, though, not a lot of deep vision here. Everyone spaced out. Last game of the day and a fight for first in the group. And it looks like there will not be deep vision pretty much anywhere. Canyon going to be starting out the jungle. I believe he was not on E start based on the fact that I saw no saplings in the brush. So not the fastest turbo clear, but should be fine.
If you look there, you can see Showmaker got that ward we were just talking about, right? Like, this is everything for Damwon, trying to spot out where Kanavi's going to start, make sure that they're able to match it. And Canyon right now going to go towards his red buff, but even the way that he's pathing, right? He is staying up towards this top side, trying to make sure that Kanavi isn't going to go for some sort of level 1 or early gank into the top lane.
And you had it right, Freak. It was Maokai starting with Q, clears out the Raptors, level up, get the saplings, start to clear up towards there. I am curious if there's any chance of just something a little bit cheesy, go straight up the top off 3 camps. He was warded out on Raptors, so they would have the information that this could be coming, but 369 did not pay respect to that in that last game. So he's going to have to really be careful this time around. Showmaker, of course, does have the push in mid. The push in bot, pretty heavily contested. Both of these lanes are now level 2.
Yeah, okay. First trade comes in, fully stacked pass, Nugger gets a few autos, then Q's back for some health.
It's actually so good for Nuggery, though, because you have so much sustain on this Aurelia with the last hits with your Q. He is taking biscuits as well. Even if you just get the early shove here, the longer you can kind of extend this lane without having it all in when you're laning against an Ignite top laner is really, really good. If you get the push, you bounce the wave, you just go for a quick recall, spend up your gold, 369 can't really do anything, and that's exactly what Nuggery is doing. So I think this is textbook. When you're playing against that Ignite, don't stay in the extended lane. Don't give them a chance to actually all in you. Just utilize your ability to get back to lane that much faster with the TP. And here, I would actually hold my TP, walk back to lane, and then even if you get ganked or chunk low, you still have your TP to bail you out again. So I think this is a really smart early play here from Nuggery.
And it's just using that information that they had. They spotted the Vi on bot side. They knew that Kanavi was going to be safe. So it was like, all right, well, Kanavi, what are you going to do now? Are you going to go for the reset and immediately try and go top? But I mean, yeah, just as Ale highlighting it there, Nuggery walking towards the mid.
They're looking for something maybe a little bit cheesy around mid, I wonder.
He's covering his options, where he's like, it's going to be a slow push to me, so I'm going to cover scuttle play. I don't know if they actually got vision on Vi, what she was doing. They might have seen her towards the bottom side. They might have figured out that she was doing a 6 camp clear. So this is Nuggery, he might have lost a melee minion for this play, but obviously gets it back by killing this.
Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of gold there from actually taking down the scuttle. Plus, you're denying the scuttle from Kanavi, so it does mean, for Damwon as a whole, they double scuttle and are going to be able to collect that pushing wave, as you said, Freak. Now, as Nuggery, if you can actually deny the push a little bit here and hold that wave, it's going to be really, really good. But Kanavi up towards top side, they've got to get this wave in.
He wasn't spotted. He queued over the wall. So Nuggery actually has no idea that Kanavi's here. He's managed to walk around all the vision that Nuggery got on this top end. So we'll have to see if he can make that one work.
Ooh, root into stun. A lot of damage there on a missing. He's going to be at 200 HP. Down to 120, actually, and Maokai's around. But is it diveable is the question. He's chugging potions right now. And as they are now under the turret, looks like they don't feel safe to this one. Level 3 Leona could tower dive. A flash. Nuggery getting stunned up now instead. Jumps to the minions, gets out of the way. Kanavi will not be able to complete that kill. The dive continues on. The pull back. Hope. He is burning, but he will not die. The sapling will not catch him either. The bot lane stays alive. The flash follow. First blood is in. The top side for JDG.
That's massive think, needed to get that kill. But thankfully for Nuguri, he did not commit his TP, so it's not nearly as bad because he actually saved the TP from the previous play here. They are going to get back towards top. Even though they get the kill, though, look at the gold. It's Damwon who are ahead because it's so much worse for Hope in the bot lane. You know, the cheers erupting there for JDG, but overall, this play is way better for Damwon. You know, look at the lead for Dokdom. Hope is like out of the game.
And this is the same thing we saw in the last game, right? Canyon moving down to this bot side, punishing Hope and missing, making sure that they're pushed out of the game. And once more, Dokdom on this Aphelios is in such a good spot. And as a Kai'Sa, you need to be able to follow up on this engage. You need to be able to essentially one-shot people on this backline. When you're this far behind, that just isn't an option anymore.
I mean, just look at the lanes, right? You're comparing top lane, you know, winning in farm in top lane. You're looking at mid lane. You're looking at bot lane. Across the board here, advantages for every single carry, but it's JDG back towards top side, looking to find Nuguri here. He's got no minion to queue back to. He could try to look for Kanavi, though.
Gets a bit more healing. He's got a jungler coming around, though. Is it a possibility? Mid laners cannot show up. It's a 2v2. Jumps around, dodges most of the knockups, and ultimately going to be fine as he's got a jungler here as well. Canyon, ever present to bail out the lane.
Yeah, great coverage here from Canyon. Knows that Nuguri is going to be very vulnerable on this bounce. Gets the coverage, and again, Nuguri just goes straight back to base. Push it in, reset. You want to just do this rinse and repeat in these Ignite matchups here. Just don't stay around to get punished. Fill the health back up. Try to extend this lane out as much as you can.
Anchor in, not bad. Gets the plasma, but it's through the W, so not a ton of damage on the Kellen.
And as long as Canyon is just kind of keeping pace hand in hand with Kanavi, you're in a great spot here for Damwon, right? You got Dokdom who's going to be able to scale towards the later portion of the game. Nuguri will eventually be able to take over this matchup with the advantages and the cull he's already picked up. And that's exactly what Canyon's doing, just matching Kanavi every single way, even getting them away.
Smite it, bro. It's up. You see him walk in. That's going to hurt. Kind of be losing some golden XP.
I wonder if he wasn't looking. I wonder if he was watching another lane or something, because I think he even had his Q available there, but just kind of lets Canyon walk in, takes the full camp, and now Canyon just going to continue on the bush here, harassing away, marking the Vi. You know, as you say, that's all you really need to do here is just keep this Vi away from your lanes, allow them to just continue extending the advantages they've already built. I mean, it's 2.5 plates are already gone. The third one is pretty close to falling. They're not going to be able to get it on this wave, but
it's a little one. Anchor's going to hit the turret. Oh, sorry, a bit of terrain instead. Knocking him around. He's not a tanky. Nautilus missing. Oh, pulls him back into the tower, though. That could kill. And Kellen will die, but already traded back. You guys are going to try to live. Has a flash over the wall, and Malcolm may not be done. They're going to trade ultis. Aphelios does not quite have the kill, but Showmaker may get it happen instead. Going to dive in. 2 HP. There's one. And Yagao is left alone, looking for the second. He's going to try to find the damage. Showmaker flashing back out to safety. Getting the kill, and it's 4-3 Damwon.
It's a disaster for JDG. The Q of Kanavi misses. The anchor tosses immediately into the wall, and Damwon collapse hungry. They will take so much off that bot side.
yeah, they got a ton. At the same time, though, 369 solo killed the Aurelia, so at least they get something back on that top side. And I think we'll likely get a replay of that. We can see this one more time here. Nuguri down a level, trying to get aggressive. Nice dodge out on the Q3, but the connection on the Infernal Chains there pulls him back in. And 369, the Ignite wasn't even up for this. Doesn't look like it just yet, but he's able to just straight up chase him down.
Tries to heal up off the Qs and whatnot, but dodged away from the stun, which means no reset, and just, yeah, you're not getting through the Aatrox, buddy. Sorry, waits out the ulti. He's just too big. The damage isn't there for the Aurelia.
The damage is done on this bot side, though. When you actually look at it missing into the wall, Kanavi having missed the Q as well, and missing just ends up so far overextended. Even Yagao as well tried to help out. He went in with the chains and completely misses on those as well because of how early he tossed them out. So easy turnaround for Damwon on this bottom side. An absolute disaster for JDG.
I mean, Dokdom just so far ahead. JDG's bot lane has been struggling today. Let's be honest, they have been getting taken advantage of a number of these games. Yes, it is also about the coordinated pressure. The tower juggling there is perfect. Everyone taking the exact amount that they can. Showmaker now here, level advantage. He's up almost 30 CS mid lane. A Gale Force is done for Dokdom. This is a crazy lead.
But he stuns the clone, though, instead. I don't think he had an option for anyone else instead, though. Canyon, though, pretty low. Gets a nice double knockback Q flash for safety. May not have needed it, but Nuguri left alone. 1v3, they got those wave in. Hope can do that with a Q. And is he diveable? Canyon pretty low, can't help much.
Showmaker's coming though, and at the same time, it's first turret's solo gold for Doctom, who's already monstrously ahead. 2,200 gold ahead, 10 minutes in that 1v1 here. Hope is just getting gapped here by Doctom. The team play from Damwon has been much better towards that bottom side. It's a 3,000 gold lead at 10 minutes. Again, Damwon are just smashing him.
But this is the thing now, they're trying to play around Hope, trying to get some gold back into his favor, but there's 3 members of Damwon here, and you're playing around what is your weakest member of JDG. You can see there, Hope, he's going to walk away, so he doesn't even get much. Oh, you actually will get the gold off the back of that, but you can't actually go for the dive because you move 369 down to the bottom side.
I mean, you have to pull so many members up there to even get a safe crash for Hope, but he's still 1,800 gold down individually. To Doctom, who already has tier 2 boots. He's got the pickaxe, has the Gale Force. Doctom is ready to go. Hope, playing more with scraps there, does at least complete his mythic, but still so far down. And it's Doctom just continuing the push here, gonna farm up at least 2 more plates. So even more gold in his pockets here, extending that gold lead again, out past 2,000 gold. You can see Yagao has half the gold that Doctom does. Yagao has been put in the dirt. I mean, he made that roam, gave up waves, and didn't get anything from it. So JDG are in dire straits, only 11 minutes in.
Yeah, this is all about protect the private Doctom. If JDG can get access to him with the Vial, with the engage coming through from Aatrox, hell, even just sending Hope in for a little bit more of a tickle of damage, that could maybe be enough to defeat the Aphelios, but it is going to be so tough with the CC from Leona, from the Maokai, offering great disengage as well, thanks to things like that ultimate that Maokai has.
And I mean, the reality is they have 2 losing lanes, very heavily losing, and Hope is...
Q, he's not ranked this anymore, though, so the cleanse gives them a bit of space, but the flash follow, they just know they can make it happen. Gale Force is in, and it doesn't matter, Hope, what you try to do, they're chasing you down anyway.
This is looking like just absolutely toast. Damwon are just running over JDG, making it look easy. Canyon in trouble potentially.
Ulti means the Q smites for some healing. Unfortunately, though, it's Nautilus taking the kill away. Kellen a bit low, but he's got enough health. He's got a W. Here come reinforcements. Kanavi could take the Q to the right and get behind them. Might build enough space. He's still got about 8 seconds. They go for the support right away, trying to find the opening to kill off Nautilus. Stopwatch buys time. They got to get on a Doctom, hitting what he can. Red, white, and he's going to try to win the fight. Yagao finally kills him. Just gets away. Showmaker can't get it just yet. Lethal damage not yet found. But here comes Aurelia for more. Finds the ulti. Hope trying to free hit Banuggery. Knocks on the support. And Hope, he has ulted. Maybe to his own demise. He finds Showmaker. Decides to clone. And it is.
I mean, that's just the TP diff there for Damwon. Nuggery able to get in towards that top side. He can play in towards the fight, whereas you're still looking at 369 kind of holding himself on this bottom side, and it looks decent to begin with, where Damwon get the kill onto Hope, but turnaround comes through for Kanavi. Then they decide to try and turn on towards Kellen with Yagao roaming from the mid lane, but they just cannot get through this Aphelios with this red-white, with the advantages that he's picked up, with the CC coming through from Kellen to take out multiple different threats. Doctom is in a really good spot with that reposition to free fire so damn long in this fight.
Yeah, it just takes way too long to actually knock him down. Yagao trying to go back in, but Nuggery arrives here, as you say, TP advantage. That is the problem when you're playing Ignite. Yes, the Aatrox is winning in the lane, but honestly, only by a little bit. And you can't actually play the map, so when it's cross-map plays that are happening, Nuggery just TPs away. Sure, he's down 400 gold. Who cares? It's not really relevant at this point. The TP is going to be way more valuable on the map unless 369 can really start to crush through a side lane and draw multiple members to him.
Yeah, it's a 400 gold diff for 369 versus Nuggery, but if Nuggery just gets to the other side, there's a 5,000 gold difference on that side of the map. So not exactly the best way for them to try and play it, but now 369 starting to move up river as the top side is getting invaded here for JDG.
Smiteable, claim, blue buff to Kanavi, but not to Yagao, who got the shutdown on Aphelios. I think it was 750 for his shutdown, but Missing got both of the other kills, so it wasn't Kanavi or Hope getting those infusions. It was a very split assist for each one. And Hope got nothing, actually.
The experience differences are really starting to show as well. It's nearly 2 full levels that Doctom is ahead of Hope. Yagao's down a level. The jungle experience is pretty even. Support's down a level, so it's definitely really, really concerning here. We'll see if JDG can team fight their way out of this. They do have the summoners off of Doctom, so this is a window for them. If they can really find a very good engage, burst down Doctom, who has no defensive stats really built up, and they do have good dive, If you can get onto him before summoners are back and really kind of just start the fight out with a quick kill on this Aphelios, maybe you can make something happen, but you know, Dom1 are aware that this is a possibility, and that's why they're all grouped around it. They're not giving that window. They're saying, okay, we are vulnerable right now for the next 2-3 minutes, so they're just going to play 5-man mid, ARAM it up for a couple minutes here, and protect Duckdom.
Saplings give a lot of space right now. They can see them all coming in. There's not an engage to be had. He is safely on the backside. Not a concern at all. It's going to be Herald now, the attempt here. Spawned early. Hope Oates can't dodge a single thing. Showmaker knocks him down nearly a solo. And guess what? This team fight not going to go your way either. Leona going to hand the easy bullseye on the ulti. A stun not going to mean a whole lot. Missing is low, but not quite dead. Aatrox wants to make it happen. Cannot quite get Nuggery. Finally a kill on the board, but it's already a double for Duckdom. And he's going to go for a whole lot more here. Kellen is low, finds his stun, tries to run away. Another on the board now for 369, but now left alone, 2 versus 3. You have to believe the ulti's not going to be enough. Q flash almost finds it. His health bar's going to run down the same way. And Yagao is running out, but Showmaker knocks him down. That is an ace for 2.
Dom1 are killing it today, coming back here, forcing the tiebreaker and dominating JDG in the second straight game. Kanavi dove deep here onto Duckdom, but their AD is already dead before the fight even starts here. He gets picked coming across. You could see the pings were on him, so they knew that he was going to be walking around. Showmaker had the read, and he face checks right into it, gets burst down before it even starts. And then when the team fight breaks out, there's just no one to actually dive in with Kanavi onto Duckdom. And you can watch right here, they're going to have the Vi ulti back into that backline. But where's the follow-up? There's no one there to really get in and kill him.
And that's the thing, right? Canyon immediately jumps onto 369, making sure he can't follow up, and there's just nothing left. This bot lane drain is becoming too much for JDG to handle. Even when 369 is trying to hit multiple members with everything he's got, there's just not enough for JDG to carry.
If Duckdom had the steps forward, there's a chance Q3 Flash actually heals enough and does enough damage. He can actually 1v5 that fight, but definitely on the sweet spot. Good sidestepping there. Dragon could be claimed now by Canyon. 1-1 of the Drake score. Ulti come across from the stolen Maokai ultimate. Is it enough? On to Kellen is not your primary target. Canyon gonna disengage pretty well against the melee Bash Pro. There's 369 now stuck in the team fight. Tries to dash away, but there's so much damage on him. Leona builds some space. 369 still doesn't die, and they find the time. Kellen could be next. Still, 369 will not be killed. Aatrox in the bottom river. The LPL makes it happen again.
How do they do it? JDG bring it back in the river. 369 looks like he's done for, but it's not enough. They'll find Canyon maybe here. Another one on the cards.
JDG are pulling it back, making a game of it here. Dom1 committed so many resources onto 369, the strongest member of JDG. Thought they had him separated out from the team. Thought they could get an easy pick. But 369 would not go down, and it made space for Yagao. It made space for Hope. These carries who are so far behind were bought the time they needed to try to get something done. I mean, look at the gold between bot lane. 4,000 gold behind is Hope, but they get the kills, and they're closing the gap to only 700 gold now. 369 is massive.
And JDG are finding those minute moments, those ever so slight leads that they can get an advantage in a team fight has come through for them once more. The fact that they managed to get onto your Duckdom, you can see there, Kellen had a great ultimate on the backside of that fight as well to try and prevent Hope and Co from getting involved, but it just wasn't enough. And now with those bounties, now with the shutdown, with actually managing to get those side lane towers as well, JDG are right back in this.
Yeah, and Showmaker now does have the Morello, so they have Morello, plus they have Ignite, so they do have some heal cut here for 369. But, you know, he already has the full mock completed, plus the Gore Drinker, he's level 12, and he is definitely ready to go. A lot of the hopes of JDG are going to be riding on 369, and we can see it again. It's 369 here on the flank. He's coming around from behind, and they decide to actually try to collapse onto this guy and try to knock him down as they feel like they caught him out isolated, flashing in even as Kellen, everyone piling in on 369. They just don't have the damage, and then as Yagao gets in the backline, Kanavi arrives, in goes Hope, and everyone is piling in and taking down this Aphelios.
And the actual footy part of this is that Mountain Dragon Soul coming up, that little rock, actually gave 369 a corridor that he could back into. It meant that you actually couldn't have Damwon follow up quickly enough onto 369 to kill him. And then, as you say, I mean, Hope, the dive into the backline with Yagao, with Kanavi, meant that Duckdam could not stay up.
I mean, there's so much pressure now on this game. It's only a little over 1,000 gold separating these two teams. But this win right here can be the difference between getting knocked out in quarters or potentially advancing and going on, because you will have to fight, if you lose this, a #1 seed from another group. That can be a death sentence depending on who you get. So there's so much pressure to execute now, and it's really all on 369 and it's on Duckdam. These two members who have gotten so rich have got to deliver an excellent performance for their teams.
And that's why JDG have to do that again. They cannot invest resources onto other members of Damwon like Nuguri or like Showmaker. They need to all in on picking off Duckdam on this backside. And especially when you look at how Kanavi is going to use this ultimate, that is going to be so crucial, and why Damwon are trying to spot him.
Double stopwatch is the big thing. Double stopwatch for the carries. They've got the front line here. Can he get a flash away? And an ulti from Leona. The root actually catches Aphelios, which means they might dive in for it. Gale Force is out, and they're going to catch Canyon. That's a 1-0. Damwon were not ready to fight. JDG were, and they get that first pick. Kellen gonna be next. They're gonna find the kill onto Leona, missing. Gets the back line. Oh! Here comes the dive. Hope goes for more, but Hope has to flash back out. Yagao gets the third kill. Aphelios snipes Hope at the end.
9-9-9!
Yes.
JDG's top laner is crushing through this game. They find another pick here. Showmaker feels like he caught out Kanavi on the side, but Noguri is not here. He's TPing in late, and JDG go in on the other side of the fight and crush through.
And that's the thing, Showmaker has gone for the Everfrost. He's more defensive, which means he can't burst out Kanavi. So JDG take this side route in and missing, landing the hooks onto Nuguri. This is the first time Duckdam has actually been able to take an auto attack this whole fight, and immediately JDG go in on us.
Yeah, 369 hits the chains onto Kellen, pulls him in. They're able to get that first kill. Then the flash forward with the Q2, connecting on multiple members. They are forcing out the heal as well from Duckdam, who critically, though, does have his flashback now and has a stopwatch.
Yep.
So Duckdam will be very difficult to take down. But Damwon have got to pay respect to the fact that JDG are willing to pull the trigger on these fights. Nuguri was out to the sideline. He's trying to actually, split the map, play it a little bit more slowly, use that global advantage that they have. And JDG say, sure, we'll just fight you. We'll just go right at you. You've got to pay respect to that.
Kaisa lands some W poke. Not holding up in about 5 seconds, and Damwon should know it's probably about up right now. Mid lane going to be pushed out by Hope and Kanavi. Looks like they are not really looking to fight for the Drake. There's no smite. It's going to be a guarantee for Canyon. He'll get it, but will there be a team fight? Diving on in is Nuguri, but he's so low on health. He's squishy as a champion. Divine Thunder, I believe, not yet done. Missing front lines. He has ulti still available. He's going to hit Kellen with it. Doesn't mean a ton, but it still means Canyon goes down. Hope drops Duckdam. Burns his stopwatch, but has nowhere to go. 369 hits Q3, and he's on for a double kill. Doubles into 6. Looking for the next one. That's going to be a triple into 9, and it means Baron is the play.
JDG will not be denied the first seed. The first seed from the LPL wants to move on, and they will do it in style. 369. There was people questioning if he was the best top of the tournament. Well, he's down looking like it now.
That's going to be a solo kill. Excuse me, sneezing at the wrong time. So never mind, Showmaker lives. We're going to be fine, but there's still going to be... Oh, they actually can't play for the All Baron. I think they don't have enough damage. With Hope not alive, that pick from Showmaker, crucial in stopping Baron.
Yeah, it was absolutely massive. Showmaker, was coming on the flank here. JDG kind of go for this weird half contest to actually started off. Showmaker was buying a lot of time as Yagao's in the pit and he has to flash out. But then as JDG actually commit towards the fight, look at the top of your screen. Showmaker coming in from behind right here, bursting out Hope, and Yagao is solo killed by Showmaker. 6-0-4 on the LeBlanc. He does not want to go down without a fight.
Exactly. The battle for the first seed is still available. A close game. 2 Drakes to 1 and a 1,000 gold difference. Is it going to be 369? Is it going to be Showmaker putting the team on their back? Both with pretty immaculate KDAs, 14 on one, 10 on the other. And even though Duckdam is 9-3-4, his stopwatch is broken. He is on the way to Bloodthirst, so that'll help.
Yeah, it absolutely will. And he does still have the summoners remaining here. And Showmaker, to me, he is at his best when he is on these playmaking champions, where he can be playing from fog, where he can be finding his own windows to make plays, to zone them out. has dominated for most of this game, you know, got very far ahead in the laning phase against Yagao. Yagao trying to go for these roams, and Showmaker was always able to punish when Yagao would move. So much pressure, though, on 369, who really, it feels like for the first time, we are getting to see what peak 369 looks like from the LPL, and it is a beautiful thing to watch on the world stage.
Especially now when you look at Duckdown with no more stopwatch. Now he's far more vulnerable. Has the flash available, so at least has a little bit more safety, but the execution from JDG on just, we're going to dump everything on the AD carry has been working out quite well. Now, Nuguri is starting to get to a position where he can try and step up as a secondary carry, but realistically, he needs some tanky stats in his build as well before he can really go up against the might that is JDG right now.
And you do have concerns, though. You know, can this Aatrox continue to keep pace with the LeBlanc with this 3.5, closing in on 4 items? Aphelios, who is on that other side. You know, he's carried them through the mid game, he's carried them through the early game, but at some point, it's got to be the Silences, it's got to be this Kai'Sa stepping up and really becoming that additional threat, because in the later stages, it's just going to be tough for Aatrox to really get even in on the carries through the Maokai, through the Leona. If they can actually lock him down, at a certain point, the damage coming out of Duckdom is going to be too high for JDG to actually be able to just tank through.
Especially with the Anathemas now on Canyon, but
They don't get the root. He's able to W back every single time. Missing can't do a whole lot against Showmaker here.
Yaga was back in base, so just trying to see if they could take a little bit of a punk shot at him, but we'll just walk back away. Dragon in a minute 30, though. You got push, you got vision starting to go through for JDG that Damwon will have to clear out.
And as you said, you know, Natha was purchased out, and I did just check, it is actually attached to 369, so he is the big threat. That means the negative tenacity against Leona and Maokai, that is very, very difficult to deal with. You know, you heal through doing damage. You cannot really drain tank if you're getting just permanently locked down here as 369, so he's not playing any Merc Treads either. You know, he does have, I believe, a little bit of tenacity from the runes here.
Both runes, right?
He does have Legend Tenacity and Unflinching, so he has some tenacity from that, but will still be a tough one for him to actually stay free here to get enough damage out against Duckdom, who is now very close to his 4th item. Yep, there's the Bloodthirster. Going to be completed here on base.
Alrighty, looking at the bit more then, as there is a control ward giving them Baron control. That is Fog of War right now for Damwon. We know getting to the Mountain Drake would feel pretty good. Damwon would get their 3rd, JDG their 2nd. See if DK can get Soul Point.
Yeah, not having the Infinity Edge on this Kai'Sa really hurts JDG as they try to go into this fight. Has opted in towards the stopwatch, just knowing, hey, look, we need to try and go all in on this backside. Maybe I can get the stopwatch off in time, but JDG, trying to see if they can find the pick, but Duckdom is very far back. They're playing so safe with this Aphelios right now.
And I will say, you know, though Showmaker is having a great game, he is on a very kind of utility-focused type of build. You know, he's not full flat pen. He's on Everfrost, Morello, and his Zonias. This is not a Death Cap and a Shadow Flame and a Ludens, right? He is not just going to absolutely one-shot you later on. But
missing. Anchor's in, who would have definitely died, but wanted to start the fight. Nearly gone. And that means you can maybe Baron contest. It's possibly a 4v5. Missing might need to recall for health. He can't really team fight, and it is burning fast to an Aphelios. His team fight will start soon. Showmaker on the wings, finds a bit of damage here. Vi rooted in place. She can flash to the P. Look for the smite. Claimed by Canyon. Here goes the team fight, and no one is on Aphelios. Yagao finally gets there. Hope over the wall. Flashes. Looks for the auto. Shuts him down. And the rest of the team fight goes to 369. Canyon's pushed out. How many Barons can they save? A stopwatch for Yagao. Still stuck in 1v2. The chain comes out early for Showmaker. He would have died, but the men from Damwon mistimes the skill shot.
JDG wiped Damwon off the map here. As they pile into the pit, they're just grouping up for 369 like fish in a barrel. The Aatrox comes through and crushes the hopes of Damwon here. These fights, man, so close, so back and forth. It's all about getting in onto these carries. Which one is going to be able to perform best? But it's Duckdom in the back of the pit, and he gets punished.
And immediately you can see as Vi goes down, that ultimate connects, which sets up Hope. Yago immediately flashes in onto the back line, and they're able to finish off Duckdom. Even the fact that you got a bit more of that gold onto Hope now is going to help him finish the Infinity Edge. And 369 once more in the pit. decimating people as they're grouped up.
And the biggest problem is, you know, with LeBlanc on this low damage build, with Aurelia behind, as long as Kanavi, Yagao, and Hope can push Doctom out of the fight, there's no one that can kill the Aatrox.
Yeah.
As soon as Aphelios is gone, Aatrox is going to full health. He is drain tanking the rest of your team. So they need to find some sort of a way to keep Doctom more involved in these fights. He's monster fed, but he just can't do anything.
Ulti lands is going to be enough. They're going to land the chain of stopwatch, buy some time. Will there be follow through? A flash out for Showmaker. Mid lane, tier 2 could be attacked, won't die yet.
Great call, though, from JDG. It looked a little bit shaky going on to Showmaker, but there's no objectives up, and they get the TP out. Because with Aatrox not having access to that teleport, having these double TPs could slow down the game so much for JDG.
Yeah, that TP being out is massive. Yagao now has a TP to actually match Showmaker, but it's Damwon just marching down mid. They will collect a tier 2 here in mid lane. And it is Bloodthirster plus now the Hex Drinker for Doctom. So harder to burst down here for sure. But without Flash, it's very difficult. He doesn't have the Lulu that he had in the last game. He doesn't have a Thresh or something to really reposition him. If he's caught out whatsoever, there's really nowhere for him to go.
Yagao just gets on him every single time. It's really well done. Kind of gets like the first half of his ulti, and Yagao puts him to 10%. Hope ultis to get it over the line, and it does so. And the rest of the team fight, of course, no one can handle the Aatrox. We are waiting for the Baron to end in 14 seconds. Basically nothing on the Rebel Baron power play.
And though Hope is still way behind, he has the IE now, right? You know, that is going to change things tremendously. If you get into that back line with this type of a build, you can put the hurt on any of these carries. Yes, Doctom is going to be putting out more DPS if they're both free-firing, but it's not really been the case because it's Yagao and Kanavi pressuring him, and Hope just needs to bring the burst to actually knock down that kill.
Also, Yagao starting to work up towards that Banshee's Veil as well. We're giving him a lot of opportunities then in these fights to ignore that first ability that hits, but good Everfrost. Yeah. Hope will just back away, but JDG not really in a position to kind of go for these sieges. They're so short-ranged, and you actually have the ability as Damwon to push back these waves.
And you can see both teams are actually so uncomfortable to play the map, because every time Damwon goes to a side lane, JDG just engage, right? So both teams are getting pulled into this just straight up 5v5. Whose hands are better? Who can execute better in these situations? It has not been about side lane whatsoever. There are people catching waves, but even JDG doesn't really want to play through sides whatsoever. They want to be grouped as a 5-man squad. They're not really winning in those 1v1s, you know, with Yagao, because he's been put pretty far behind. We'll see if he can start to do that a little bit more now.
I do like the way we've started to set up vision, though, for JDG on this bot side. You can see one just off on the side of bot lane there. You can see one just off of blue as well. Thank you very much, Azael. Where you can actually spot out exactly where they can look for TPs for Yagao, where they can actually look to make picks onto Damwon as they start to come through. And having control over this bot side jungle with a minute 30 until Dragon can be such a big boon when they're looking to make these picks.
It absolutely can, and you have to think, Mountain Soul for either team would be devastating for their opponent. Both of these teams really do value that upfront burst, right? Being able to knock someone down. Mountain Soul Shield can be the difference in a game like this. Both teams sitting on 2 dragons right now, 1 minute until it would be soul point for either side. It will be an absolutely critical fight. And with only 2,000 gold separating the two teams at this point of the game, honestly, it's anyone's to take.
And you can see how much they value that tankiness as well for Doctom, right? Got the Bloodthirster for the shield, got the Maw for the shield. He's gone. Oh, hang on.
Anchor's gonna land, they're gonna chain combo, and Showmaker goes down. Missing gets the critical pick.
I mean, such a brilliant opportunity there for JDG. They can start to go through. Yagao steals away Kellen's ult, but I don't think they're going to go. They just want to try and crack open these towers, push Damwon back in the face with 30 seconds until the Dragon.
There's decent wave clear. It's 40 seconds. Keep in mind, though, it's Dragon and the Baron. They find them. They go. They hit him. Doctom Gale forces out, and here goes Hope, but Hope can't kill him. The man stays alive. In front of the tower, Snuggery clears the wave. Ults tries to stay alive. Flash to safety. Hook's going to land again. Oh, missing. Just doesn't. It's 3 in a row. There's 4. There's 5. And that top lane Aatrox has played a critical role in this entire game. 10, 1, and 11. He was a mighty 9 all game long. And the first seed belongs to the first seed of the LP.